Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. David Thompson. Before we dive into the science, I want to tell you about a patient of mine named Martha. Martha is 72 years old, living in a quiet suburb of Charleston. When she first rolled into my office, and I do mean rolled, because she was in a wheelchair, the look in her eyes wasn't just pain, it was grief. Her local orthopedic surgeon had told her that her knees were bone on bone. He told her that at her age, a double knee replacement was her only hope, but because of her heart condition, she wasn't a good candidate for surgery. She was looking at a nursing home. She was looking at losing her independence, never picking up her grandkids again, and spending her final chapters confined to a recliner. But today, if you visited Martha, you wouldn't find her in a wheelchair. You'd find her in her garden, or walking 2 miles along the Battery at sunrise. She didn't have a miracle surgery. She didn't take a cocktail of experimental drugs. What Martha did was implement a simple, natural method of biological remodeling that 97% of doctors, my colleagues included, usually overlook. They overlook it because it isn't found in a pill bottle. It's found in the synergy of specific nutrients that signal your body to stop breaking down and start building up. Today, I am going to guide you through the exact implementation of this protocol. We are going to talk about the 4 specific foods that restored Martha's mobility and can do the same for you. Before we go any further, I want to know who is in the room with me. Right now, go down to the comments and type your age and your current knee pain level on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is a dull ache and 10 is unbearable. Are you 55 and feeling a crunch every time you stand up? Asterisk, are you a 35-year-old office worker whose knees throb after a long day at the desk? Asterisk, are you a new mother whose joints feel like they've turned to jelly? Comment below. I read these because I want to tailor my future advice to your specific needs. Now, listen closely. Most people will tell you that your knee pain is genetic or just old age. That is a myth. Your body is a dynamic, living organism. Your cartilage is not like the tread on a tire that simply wears out and disappears. It is a living tissue. If it's degrading, it's not because of mileage. It's because of a deficiency in 4 specific biocatalysts that your body needs to maintain the synovial environment. For those who are new to the channel, I've spent over 30 years in the trenches of clinical medicine. I've seen thousands of patients just like Martha. My mission with this channel is simple: to help you live a healthy, independent life through the power of scientific nutrition. I'm not here to sell you a quick fix supplement or a secret powder. I'm here to give you the peer-reviewed molecular evidence that shows how the right foods can act as medicine. We are going to bypass the pharmaceutical treadmill and go straight to the source of healing. Let's do a quick quiz to see the state of your joint health. I want you to count how many of these symptoms you've experienced in the last 30 days. 1. The morning creak. When you first wake up, do your knees feel glued together for the first 10 minutes? 2. The stairway warning. Do you find yourself taking stairs one at a time, or leading with your good leg? 3. The popcorn effect. Do you hear audible clicking, popping, or grinding when you squat or sit down? 4. The weather report. Can you feel a rainstorm coming in your joints? 5. The post-sitting stall. After sitting in a movie theater or at a desk for an hour, do you have to limber up before you can walk normally? How many did you get? Comment your number below, 1 through 5. If you have even one of these, you are likely suffering from a combination of synovial ischemia, lack of blood flow to the joint, and chronic oxidative stress. Think of your knee joint like a sponge. Cartilage has no blood vessels of its own. It relies on imbibition, a fancy word for the way movement pumps nutrients in and waste out. If your sponge is dry and the fluid is full of inflammatory toxins, the cartilage cells, chondrocyte, begin to starve and die. Today, we are going to change the chemistry of that fluid. The first food on our list is often dismissed as an old wives' tale, but the molecular science behind it is undeniable. I'm talking about slow-simmered bone broth. Arthur was a retired construction worker from Seattle. His knees were so stiff he had started using a cane to get to his mailbox. He'd tried every over-the-counter cream available. I put him on a protocol of 12 ounces of homemade bone broth daily. Within 4 weeks, Arthur called me. He wasn't just walking to the mailbox. He had left his cane in the umbrella stand and gone for a 20-minute walk in the park. Why did it work? Bone broth is rich in type 2 collagen and glycosaminoglycans, GAGs, specifically chondroitin sulfate and hyaluronic acid. Think of your cartilage like a skyscraper. The collagen is the steel rebar that gives it structure, and the GAGs are the concrete that fills the gaps and holds water. Without the rebar, the concrete cracks. Bone broth provides the exact amino acid profile, proline, glycine, and hydroxyproline, that your body needs to reweave the cartilage matrix. A landmark study published in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, 2014, demonstrated that collagen hydrolysates are absorbed intestinally and accumulate in the cartilage, stimulating chondrocyte to produce new extracellular matrix. Practical guide. The recipe: use grass-fed beef bones or organic chicken carcasses. The secret additive: you must add 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar to the pot. The acetic acid acts as a solvent to pull the minerals and collagen out of the bone. Golden time: drink 1 cup in the morning on an empty stomach to maximize absorption. Note: avoid store-bought broth in cartons, which is often just flavored water. It must be gelatinous when cold. That's the sign of real repair power. Have you ever tried making your own bone broth, or does the idea of simmering bones for 24 hours seem a bit daunting? Let me know in the comments. Next, we need to address the friction. We need a lubricant. Elena was a high-level executive, spending 10 hours a day at a desk. She started experiencing sharp, needle-like pain in her patella. She was terrified it was early-onset arthritis. Instead of ibuprofen, which can damage the gut lining, I had her switch her primary fat source to high-quality extra virgin olive oil. Within 30 days, she was back to her Saturday morning yoga class. EVOO contains a unique phenolic compound called oleocanthal. Metaphorically, oleocanthal is like high-grade WD-40 for your joints, but it's also a natural ibuprofen. It inhibits the COX-1 and COX-2 enzymes that cause pain. At the cellular level, it protects the chondrocyte from oxidative stress. Think of it like internal sunglasses that protect your delicate joint cells from the harsh UV rays of inflammation. In a famous study published in the journal Nature, researchers found that the oleocanthal in olive oil has a pharmacological effect remarkably similar to nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, NSAIDs, but without the side effects on the stomach or heart. Practical guide. Dosage: 2 to 3 tablespoons per day. The quality test: it must be extra virgin and ideally cold-pressed. If it doesn't have a slight, peppery kick at the back of your throat when you swallow it, it doesn't have the oleocanthal you need. The rule: never heat it to the point of smoking. Use it as a finishing oil over vegetables or salads. Heat destroys the delicate medicinal compounds. If your knees are swollen or warm to the touch, you have a fire in your joints. We need to put it out. Sarah had just had her second child. Between the hormonal shifts and carrying a newborn, her knees felt heavy and inflamed. She didn't want to take medication while breastfeeding. We used the golden paste method. In 2 weeks, the swelling subsided completely. The active compound here is curcumin, C21H2006. Curcumin is like a highly trained fire department. When your joint is under attack, your body sends out pro-inflammatory cytokines. Curcumin literally blocks these signals at the nuclear level, NF-κB pathway. However, curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. You must pair it with piperine, found in black pepper. Piperine increases the bioavailability of curcumin by 2,000%. It's like the key that unlocks the door so the fire department can get inside the building. A 2016 study in the Journal of Medicinal Food concluded that turmeric extract was as effective as ibuprofen for reducing pain and improving function in patients with knee osteoarthritis, but with significantly higher safety profiles. Practical guide. The golden ratio: 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a heavy pinch of black pepper, and, this is vital, a source of fat, like a teaspoon of coconut oil or the olive oil we discussed. Curcumin is fat-soluble. Golden time: evening. Inflammation often peaks at night as the body attempts to repair. Warning: if you are on blood thinners, consult your doctor first, as turmeric can have a mild thinning effect. Have you tried golden milk before? Some people love the earthy taste, some hate it. What's your take? Finally, we need the repair crew to patch the holes in the cartilage. Jim was a former marathon runner. His knees were wrecked, according to his previous doctor. He was depressed because he couldn't garden anymore. We added sardines to his diet 3 times a week. 6 weeks later, Jim sent me a photo of his prize-winning tomatoes, standing tall without a knee brace. Sardines are a powerhouse of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, and vitamin D3. If the bone broth is the scaffolding, the omega-3s are the specialized repair crew. They resolve inflammation by producing resolvins. These are molecules that tell the body, the fight is over, start the repair. Furthermore, eating the tiny, soft bones in sardines provides a highly bioavailable source of calcium and phosphorus in the exact ratio found in human bone. Research in Annals of the Rheumatic Diseases shows that high intake of omega-3s significantly reduces the expression of aggrecanase, the enzyme that literally eats away at your cartilage. Practical guide. The source: look for wild-caught sardines in water or olive oil. Frequency: at least 3 times a week. The trick: if you don't like the taste, mash them with avocado and lemon juice on a piece of sourdough bread. The healthy fats in the avocado work synergistically with the fish oil. To recap, restoring your knees naturally isn't about one magic pill. It's about a total environment shift. 1. Bone broth for the scaffolding. 2. Olive oil for the lubrication. 3. Turmeric to extinguish the fire. 4. Sardines to send in the repair crew. My final advice to you is this: do not wait. Cartilage restoration is much easier when you still have some tissue to work with. If you wait until you are truly bone on bone, with zero synovial fluid, the road back is much longer. Martha didn't wait. Arthur didn't wait. You shouldn't either. If you found this scientific approach to healing helpful, please subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. We have a whole series coming up on the 3 exercises that rebuild knee fluid, and I don't want you to miss it. Your independence is your greatest wealth. Let's protect it together. I'm Dr. David Thompson. I'll see you in the next video.